Hi, and welcome to today's webinar from Greenstone on BlackRock's sustainability announcement, How to Respond. I'm David Wynn. I'm the Head of Client Services at Greenstone, and I'm joined today by Jake Yule, who's the Client Services Manager at Greenstone. For today's 30-minute webinar, we'll be going through the content related to the BlackRock announcement. During the webinar, if you have any questions, then please feel free to use the GoToWebinar question section. This allows you to post questions to send through to us, whether those are specific questions around your company or more broad questions, then please do send them through, and we'll be following up with an FAQ document in the coming days to circulate as well. So just as a quick introduction for those that don't know about Greenstone, we're a sustainability software company. We've been providing sustainability software solutions to organizations for over a decade to help them better manage their data for reporting and disclosing to stakeholders. This sits across our enterprise sustainability software, as well as our supply chain and investor ESG platforms. So for today's agenda, we'll be starting off, and I'll be passing to Jake to cover having a look at deconstructing the BlackRock announcement and CEO letter, and some of the key frameworks that are mentioned within that, looking at what organizations are being asked to disclose, and then we'll be picking up a little bit later on. I'll be taking through some tips around preparation for engaging with frameworks and different types of reporting. So I will pass over to Jake, and as I say, if you have questions, please do send them through using GoToWebinar.
Thanks, David, and hello, everyone. So to start with, just wanted to start with a quote directly from the BlackRock CEO letter, a fundamental reshaping of finance. So there were quite a lot of powerful statements and messages included in BlackRock's letter and the announcements. And we're going to include a few of those as we go through this webinar, just to shape the content of what we're going through. So a bit of background to start with. I'm sure all of you are very familiar with BlackRock, but just in case not, they are the world's largest investment management company with approximately $6 trillion in assets under management. And Larry Fink is the CEO of BlackRock, with every year a letter is sent to the CEOs of the companies BlackRock invest in, as well as a separate letter sent to clients. And these are always seen as very influential and important within the investment industry. But this year's one, which was issued in January, has gained a lot of attention from the wider sustainability space, particularly relating to climate change and the global risks that brings. So at this stage, I just want to point out that we're not going to be providing a critical analysis of the content of the letter. There is plenty of articles out there which does exactly that. As a sustainability reporting software company, we're going to be focusing on the reporting implications of what was stated. But just to say, if you do have any specific questions after this about the specific requirements that you need to go through, then you should please direct those to BlackRock. But before we get on to the reporting implications, I just wanted to pull out a few key statements and quotes again from the letter, just relating to the state of play today. So we have things like the global landscape is increasingly fragile, trust is crumbling, increased risk of cyclical downturn, overall more and more uncertainty, anger, and nationalism. So all these things are pretty negative and pretty damning statements. And what are BlackRock doing about this? Well, on the screen here, we're going to have a few examples of some of the more announcements and products and new initiatives that they announced as part of the CEO letter